welcome to day 3, our final day. Whew, it's been a busy couple of days. And I just wanted to use this opportunity to say welcome everybody and thank you for being here. Let me check the chat. How have you been? How have the sessions been? Can you just tell me? Can you hear me? I guess that's a good question to ask to start. If you can hear me, say hello, hello. Or leave an emoji in the chat. I know it's early for some of us who are in California, or some other parts of the country or parts of the world where it's super early. But I just wanted to say hello and to say you all are the most amazing. We had a great session yesterday for the wrap up. Oh, give me a second. Apologies. That's what happens when you are live. Anyway, hope y'all are doing well. I wanted to just say hello and to share what you can expect for today, and then to talk a little bit about Pocketlings, right? So once again, welcome. This summit is a parenting summit where we're talking about all things parenting, from potty learning or potty training to body safe basics to all sorts of things that a lot of parents have voiced that they needed help with and support with. And so we decided with Pocketlings that we would bring this community of experts from different parts of the world to come and share the expertise. My name is Osayi Lasisi. I'm one of the founders. I'm a co-founder. The main founder is my daughter. When she was 10 years old, she couldn't find brown plush dolls that looked like her, and so she decided she wanted to create her own so that she can provide these resources for other kids like her. And so we created the dolls. She designed them. We have manufacturing partners who make them, and then we sell them. And we also have books, and we also have events. And it's just a fun time, really. Yeah, so that's kind of what we do. Then today, what you can expect. Hope you enjoyed the sessions yesterday and the last few days. And if you missed any session, consider upgrading to VIP. Also, little secret, VIP price will be going up once the summit is over. So you want to get that deal now. I recommend it. And there will be some surprises. So we have a surprise set up for next week as well. I'll tell you more about that via email. So for today, I speak in Eastern Standard Time Zone because I'm in Toronto. I'm in the Toronto area, so we're Eastern Standard Time. But for today, we're going to have the welcome, which is what I'm doing right now. And I'll talk a little bit more about different topics. From doing to being, emotional regulation. That's from Kate. And then we have screen reset, which is a big deal. With Dana, we have modeling executive functions at home. Really excited about that because depending on what age your child is, you might have some expectations for what your child should be able to do. But executive functioning skills are not always based on how old they are, even though we have those expectations. Then we'll go into, and that's by Daniela. Then we go into the power of caregivers with Noah. Then we're going to reimagining discipline with Christy. Then play is the work with Adrian. And then playing the long game using family play with Tara. Calm is contagious with Sarah. The me in the home with Marissa. Your child is not broken with Erin. The hidden pattern behind burnout, which is Jennifer, which I'm really excited about because as moms, I'll speak for myself. I'm sure dads might experience this as well. Burnout is something that happens too often. So I'm excited about that. And then at the end, we will have our closing session and we'll start with a bit of meditation. So all that to say, lots of surprises around today. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to respond. If you'd like to be on the Zoom call live for the closing session with the meditation, send me an email and I can send that link to you. Just let me know, or just leave a comment here. Well, I'd say send me an email so that I can get your email address to invite you. And of course, the sooner the better. So yeah, super exciting. And so now I want to talk a little bit about the power of community and connection, and how that has been really helpful as we build the Pocketlings brand, and how it helps me with my work as well. So I've always found that doing anything differently takes energy, right? Like if you want to live differently from the way you lived as a child, or you want to be more connected on something, like anything, you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight, you want to bulk up, you want to eat healthier, you want to go to the gym, you want to get a new career, whatever, it takes work. And that's how it is with parenting as well. But I found that there are lots of things that we can do by ourselves, and there are things that you do need community to continue to make progress. Let me look at the chats again, see if any questions or anything came up. Okay, the dev team is working on some technical issues. Okay, the summit is continuing. Okay, thank you, dev team. I wasn't even aware. I see it's saying summit complete. Okay, oh no, it's still saying summit complete. But okay, we just need to work on the technical issues. I'm talking to myself. That's so sad. But I'll keep going because the recordings will be available. So I was talking about community. I found that as a parent, community has been very powerful. Very, very powerful. Community has helped to provide opportunities, whether through support with mentors or support with opportunities like grants or jobs or stuff like that. And so I've always thought about what is the best way to connect with the community. What is the best way to be relatively efficient, right? Like community is not necessarily efficient, but as parents, I know we're busy doing so many things. So what is the best way to be as efficient as possible when it comes to community? And so that's where we came up with some strategies. And the strategy, I like to call it focus. And with that, that's what I also use my career in. I just like with that acronym focus. The first thing is the foundation. What am I comfortable doing? So some people, when they think about community, they want to be out, they want to do it, lots of in-person stuff. Some people want to do online things. Some people want to be more introverted options, you know. So coming up with your foundation, what you're comfortable with. And sometimes they will stretch you a little bit, right? Like you might not be the most comfortable. You might be stretched a little bit, but still, it's about doing what needs to be done. The next thing is about opportunity. What opportunities are out there to support you in doing this thing that you want to do? So if you want to be around other moms, what opportunities are around? Are there communities online or in person or with other moms? Are there programs? In Canada, we have Early On, which is always helpful. But there are also communities, different kinds of communities that you can join as well. And then there are things like meetups or Eventbrite where you can find stuff like that. And then if you want to do things online, there are opportunities like that. So what opportunities are available for you to create the kind of community that you want? And then we can go on and on with that, because once we figure out what the opportunities are, then we can start to say, okay, how do I prioritize these opportunities? How do I make sure that my energy is focused on the right thing, right? Let me see how the dev team is doing. Hopefully we'll be back online soon. Okay, so how do I make sure that that I'm prioritizing what needs to be prioritized? Then this is where community becomes really, really important. What kinds of communities, what kinds of ways can I invest in that community, right? So now I have found the opportunities, and now how can I become a part of that community? Do I need to volunteer? Do I need to create my own community? Do I need to step up? Do I need to have conversations with the leaders of that community? Those kinds of things, right? Then after that, the next thing that I would look at, because that's C in focus. Oh, are there some partnerships? Are there some ways that I can share spaces without it being competitive? Then how can I gauge if this is right for me? So that I like to call it user signal, like your KPIs of success. I know it sounds really technical, but essentially you want to be looking at, okay, so I came to this community, okay, I invested some time. What does success look like for me? Does it feel right? Does it feel like we are doing the right thing? Do I feel successful, right? And I will need to come up with what my KPIs are. What does success look like to me? Do I want to feel energized whenever I participate in these things? Do I want to feel like I'm making new friends? So, you know, whatever that that idea of what success is for you is, then that's you just want to get clarity around that. So like if you're trying to lose weight, so I want to see like my clothes are fitting a little bit differently this week or whatever. Every week my this outfit should feel different, or if you use the scale, or if you're measuring your body with a tape measure, whatever it is, so you have your KPIs of success. And then finally, what systems and tools can I use to optimize? So um, if I've done a lot of things and I realize, okay, I really like communicating via WhatsApp or via text messages. So how can I optimize? Do I want to put reminders in my calendar to do a weekly check-in or go to a weekly event or something like that? So that way you're not always thinking about it, but you've created a system that works for you. And so that's what I'd like to call the focus framework. So in terms of, for me as a parent, I was big on, I wanted to do some in-person events, and then I wanted to do virtual events. And so that was my foundation. I know when I'm most energetic, I know, what I'm looking for. And so I looked for the opportunities around. I found some communities. I found some virtual communities. I'm a part of different mom groups, and some local communities as well. I'm part of different women's groups and different Black entrepreneur groups or things like that. So that was great. And then I optimized. There's some mom communities that I ended up leaving because I realized this isn't quite a good fit for me. Some mom events I decided not to participate in because it wasn't quite a good fit for me. So, and then I kind of prioritized the handful because that was another thing. I didn't want to be running around all the time. So have a handful. So I have a few meetings regularly. I have coffee chats. I have in-person coffee chats and stuff. So some weekends are busier than others, but able to build that community. And then in terms of community, I'm able to volunteer for some of them. I'm able to be on like a co-chair on some of them. And so just like supporting. And then I had my signals, my user signals that, okay, this is successful for me if I feel good here, if I'm learning what I need to learn, if it's like a learning and educational community. If it, like whatever it is, right? Um, just like figuring those things out. So I did that for myself, just knowing what feels good and then prioritizing those groups that felt good. And that's what I meant when I said I dropped out of some. And that's one thing that I've learned to be big on, not committing to something just because I committed to it in the past. So if I commit to something, I'm excited about it, I am all invested, but then I find out that it's not the best decision for me, then I'm okay to move on instead of just saying, but I paid for this, or, you know, I said I was gonna, those kinds of things. So yeah, I looked at those user signals and made decisions. And then for systems and tools, meetings, meeting and calendar meetings and stuff like that. So I would add a lot of these things to my calendars. I would put like reminders. That way I remember people's birthdays, or I remember events that I want to participate in. And I'm able to track what I'm attending and what I'm not attending. And with that, I've been able to make friends in my community and online. And I use the term friends loosely, right? Like they're different levels. But for the most part, I've connected with some amazing people who ended up becoming mentors to me, or resources, or would give like different ideas, or even coaches. So I wanted to just share that about the importance of community and the way that I systematically go through that as a parent. But of course, I do that with a lot of things as well with my career. I usually go back to the focus framework. And it's always been a lot of fun, and it's always been an exciting time for me. So, all that to say, once again, thank you for listening. I know we have some technical issues, but the summit is continuing. And I am hopeful that if you're not able to watch this live, you'll still be able to watch the recording at a later date. Because like the summit welcomes and stuff like that, those will be available for everybody. And I also mentioned that we will have some surprises next week as well. So thank you once again for being here to the extent that you could be. I really appreciate your support. We'll be starting the next session shortly. In the meantime, you can grab a glass of water and ask your questions. And yeah, we'll be chatting soon. Thank you so much. We just have the rest of today, and it's gonna be an awesome day. I already feel it. All right, talk soon. Bye.